Hello and welcome or welcome back if you're new here. Hi, my name's Caitlin. I'm the owner and maker behind Little Women Creations. Today is my last market of 2023. I'm really excited for it. We're here at Discovery World with Milwaukee Makers Market again. It's an event from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. today. It's currently about 8:24. I'm usually here right at 8, so it's been a slower morning for me. But as you can see, I have my grid wall with me. I'm going to set that up. I'm going to do my 6-foot table, and I'm also going to do my folding shelves. I think that'll be enough. I have a lot of plushies today and not a lot to hang up. So I'm going to unpack. Feel free, grab something to work on, grab a drink, and let's get going with today's market. Enjoyed that vlog. It was a hectic day, to say the least. I have sold the most items at this market. It's not the most amount of money I've made at a market, but it's definitely the amount of items I've sold, the highest amount. This market was just crazy. It was so busy for the first 2.5-3 hours, which hopefully you could see throughout the video. My table just started to get smaller and smaller, and I had to fill my booth in other ways than what I expected. I really enjoy being at Discovery World with Milwaukee Makers Market, and it was such a great way to finish out the year. At the end of the market, There were a couple of makers who did bring some bottles of champagne to celebrate. So we did toast to the coordinator of Milwaukee Makers Market. His name's Ryan. We toasted to Ryan, we toasted to each other, and just for how great of a season it has been. Overall, I would say 2023, I've definitely seen less sales, at least in the small business world. If you also own a small business, whether it's crochet, maybe another fiber art, maybe you don't do anything with yarn and you're still a maker, let me know, do you think sales have been down this year? I think it's just everyone is kind of feeling it. But we're not going to talk about the sad stuff because this market was so good. I'll just start right off the bat. I made $850. And in the first 2 hours, I made $500. Like I said, it was just hectic. I sold so many items, actually a total of 43 sales. Insane. However, my average sale was lower. It was $19.77. Now, a big part of that I know is because I had a ton of items under $20. Really, the only items that were over that $20 price point were some of my velvet beanies, and that's the pricing is based on the size, so those larger sizes are over that $20. I had some hexagon cardigans that are $70 and $50. Those didn't sell. And I think the last thing was I had one of my blankets that I did, if you saw, actually I don't know if it's posted yet by the time you're seeing this video, but I did the crochet edging around fleece blankets, and I had one for $35 that didn't sell. But besides that, everything was under $25. So the $19 average sale doesn't surprise me at all. If I scroll down, I made the most sales, at between 11 and 11:30. I made $258 in sales just in that half hour. The first half hour of the market, I made $200. So yeah, like I said, the first 2 hours I made $500 at this market. What are you doing? You're falling out of your bed, silly. All right, I need my hand for a second. 1 second. A lot of people were paying with card at this market. So 78% of my sales were via card, which I think that is actually the most I've ever accepted cards for. That was $660 worth of card sales. That's insane. The next was cash, which was 16% of sales. And then finally, Venmo was 7% of sales. I always like when Venmo is on the bottom because if you are using Venmo properly, you need to have a business account. And if you're using a business account, it takes out more fees than credit card sales, at least using Square. So my Square fees are less than my Venmo fees. Anyway, that little tangent. The total fees for this market were $20.18, and that was all because of credit card fees, with a net total of $829.82. I'm gonna look a little more. My top seller was actually my velvet beanies, and this is what I saw in my last market too. I'm not sure if it's just because you don't have to sell that many for it to become a bestseller, but I sold 5 of them for $152. That's insane. My second selling were my bees, and those are $20 each. I sold all 6 of them. I sold all 5 of my reindeer at $75 total. And, I sold all 5 of my octopi at $75 for total, and then all 4 of my reindeer at $60 in total. The thing is, I sold so many plush items. I sold 42 plush items, and that includes my bees, octopi, reindeer, stingrays, eggplants, my mushroom boys, my whales, I have 1 strawberry, Christmas tree cakes, pickle, owl, eggs, elephant, pigs, and a blueberry. Wow. That is a lot of items. I came home with 2 plush items left over. One of them was the pickle that I've had since March. I did put a Santa hat on one of my larger pickles and that one sold, but I didn't put a Santa hat on this one. So I came home with that one, and I came home with the Peeps bunny. Everything else I brought sold in terms of plush items. Insane. I still, it's been like after the Christmas holiday now, so it's been like at least a week since this market, and I'm still just flabbergasted by how well this market went. I sold 5 wearables, which all 5 of those were my velvet beanies. Those vary in price range from $20 for the newborn size to $35 for the adult size. And then the last few things I sold too, I did have 2 additional plush items that I just didn't have categorized because they were new. So one of them is the Happy Santa Friend. I sold 2 of them at $25 a piece, so for a total of $50. That is the free pattern from Wonder Crochet? Is that One Wonder? I think so. Yeah, that free pattern. It's supposed to be the Grinch, but I can't call them the Grinch. I sold 4 fidget mushrooms, which is also a free pattern that I found on Instagram. Those were $40 total. And then I sold 2 of the palm bucket hats for dogs and cats for $20 total. But this market was a great way to just end out my season. I came home with less than 20 items total. A good majority of those are just beanies. I have a lot of the newborn size left. Those really didn't sell well for me. I'm not sure if it's just because people aren't willing to spend $20 on a newborn hat that's gonna fit for a few months, maybe even a few weeks for some babies. I came home with both of my blankets, which I was surprised from. I did sell 1 blanket at my November market, but then these 2 I brought with me. I did bring 1 at the consignment store too. So I had 1 that is like that baby blanket I've been bringing to almost every market this year. And then the other one is one of the fleece blankets that I crocheted the edge with. I came home with 2 of my hexagon cardigans, a scarf, and yeah, the rest were just scrunchies and beanies. It was insane. Like I said, as you were watching the video, I'm sure you could see each hourly update, which I really tried to stick to for this market. Each hourly update, I just was running out of stock. I had to rearrange my items to make my booth look full, but it was just awesome, and I'm so very thankful to have ended my 2023 market season at this event with the way it did. With that though, I guess we can kind of do a full recap of 2023. I had a great market year. I had a lot of milestones that happened for my small business in general. I became an LLC. I got a new logo, so all new design, new fresh look. I'm loving it. From what I've heard from people too, especially my customers, they're loving it too. I've been able to do so many custom orders. People are recognizing my brand and my name. I'm just so thankful for where 2023 has taken me. I do have my trusty notebook. If you've been here since the beginning, you'll have known that I used to record all of my sales in here for each of my markets. And so this is how I would keep track of what's sold instead of using Square. But this is before I had my Square online store set up. But yeah, it's pretty fun to look back in here. Like this one I did really well. I filled like a page in like 3/4 almost. Yeah, that's how I used to track my sales. But if I recall, I think I have my goals for 2023 written in here. Let's see if we can find it. Okay. Goals for 2023. Let's see. Let's see if we did it. First one, get mainly off Etsy.
that did not happen. I did start my online store on Square, like I said. I'm still on Etsy. I actually did really well on Etsy this year. It's the best I've done since I started Etsy in January 2020. I don't know if I do want to get off of Etsy or not next year. I kind of like the idea of just having everything in one platform. The only thing is I still get a lot of sales driven to my Etsy account because of my Beerstein slippers. And then also earlier this year, there was a TikTok that went viral of these coasters that looked like monstera leaves. And then you put them in the little crocheted flower pot and they looked like a plant. And I have cactus coasters that I've been making for maybe 2 years now. And those went quote unquote viral because of that TikTok that had millions of views. So I had a lot of sales for my cactus coasters and I still get them quite frequently. But I mean, those two things have driven sales for me, which is insane. So I'm not sure how I feel about Etsy yet. I guess we'll reevaluate. The next one, stash bust. As we're packing to move right now, I do feel like I have less yarn than what I moved into this apartment with, but I have invested a lot into Sweet Snuggles Light chenille yarn. I got the Michaels credit card to get rewards with that, better rewards at least. And I primarily use the chenille yarn for plushies now. So I've definitely added to my stash. I did take a couple of trips this year as well, which added to my hand-dyed stash. I have been contributing to Craft Me Not Yarn Co.'s quarterly Zelda Club, and that added 8 more skeins of DK weight. I think it hasn't grown, but it hasn't shrunk, if that makes sense. Stash bust is definitely something that's still on my list. I think it will forever be on my list. I am wanting to start knitting in the new year, and I know I've said that the last 2 or 3 years. I do want to knit. I have yarn picked out to knit some hand warmers and also to knit myself a sweater. So hopefully those will be videos that are coming up after this move, of course. That's been the primary focus. We actually had a showing today for our apartment, so hopefully they're able to find someone to take over our lease, because then I don't have to pay for this place anymore. The next one is learn to knit socks. This still has not happened. I started knitting socks 2 years ago and then took them apart because I was having too much of like a ladder with the magic loop. I think that's what it's called. But I have been knitting. 1 second. I didn't have to go far to get that. But I have been knitting a blanket. Specifically, it's a baby blanket. And this is what it's looking like. It's coming along. I just started the 3rd color here. But this is a yarn that's been in my stash. I think I threw the label out, obviously, because the label's not on it. But this is from Baby Bee, which is a Hobby Lobby brand. If you've known my channel for a while, you know I do not shop at Hobby Lobby. I don't support them. This was the one skein I had that was given to me from someone who was stash busting. So it's the colors that my cousin is doing of their nursery. She just announced that she's having a baby boy. So we've got some fun, more masculine, I guess, colors in here. But I was going to do just crochet corner to corner with it. And the more I was trying to find a pattern, the more people just said it is not worth crocheting this with this yarn. One, because it's so thin, but also then there's no stitch definition. So you really can't tell even what I've been doing here. This is just a simple knit stitch. There's no purls. There's only knitting, only knitting, duh. Only the knit stitch, not a garter stitch or anything, not a stockinette. I don't know what the difference between those are anyway, but I have been knitting it and I'm actually quite enjoying it. I've gotten to the point where I can go a little slower, but then I don't have to look at the needles, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I don't know what size needles these are. I have them from a kit that I got from Darn Good Yarn and like a mystery pack that I did a few years ago. I don't know. I have fallen off of doing podcasts, and one of the things that I'm wanting to do in 2024 is to have monthly podcasts again. So I will talk about this more in January, hopefully when it's done. She is due in end of April, so I have some time yet. So I have not learned to knit socks, but I have picked up knitting. Again, I started out knitting back in 8th grade. Yeah, cool. All right, the next one is release a pattern. So I actually have 3 patterns that are like ready to go. One of them is for a cat couch. One of them is my water bottle bags. And then the last one is actually a milk carton plush. It's a jumbo milk carton plush. I'm gonna release the pattern video for the jumbo milk carton plush. I'm hoping to record that and edit it in the new house. So that will definitely not be posted until January or February. But besides that, I did not release a pattern. Hit 1,000 followers on Insta. As of today, which is December 26th, I have not hit 1,000 followers. I am at like 799. I think I'm almost at 800 followers. So that's still really good growth in my opinion. Hit 3,000 followers on TikTok. That did not happen. I'm at 1,500. So I really have not put a lot of time into TikTok. It hasn't grown very well for me this year. I'm not sure if that's because I don't have a TikTok shop, but I kind of don't want to get one. Anyway, hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Also did not happen. Last I looked, I'm at about 650 subscribers. The last quarter of the year, I really have not been paying attention to YouTube. I think I went a few videos in a row that weren't posted weekly. They were posted like monthly. So I really did not invest a lot of time into YouTube, so not seeing the growth makes sense. Make equal money. I actually don't know how much I made this year. I would say probably, yeah, equal money. Maybe a little less, but I'm sorry, I didn't realize that was, I should have looked at my goals before sitting down to record this. I should have gotten that number for you guys. I'm really sorry about that. I will get that number figured out in January, and then when I record my January podcast, I will include that in there. So if you're curious to know how much I made, last year I made about $6,000. This year I'm probably closer maybe to $5,000, but I had a lot of big expenses. Yeah, between an LLC, I'm also paying taxes quarterly now, so I have to file my next quarterly taxes starting January 1st. So that takes out of my income. Also, the chenille yarn that I purchased, I've been purchasing a lot more of it, and that gets expensive quite quickly. Lastly, keep track of projects on Ravelry. Now, this I would say I did fairly well with. I stopped making projects for myself towards the second half of the year. Part of that was just because there wasn't really anything I wanted to make. The one thing that I am starting to make right now is a blanket for our new house. So I'm working with Bernat, is it Forever Fleece? And I'm just making a granny square rectangle blanket. I'll post that to Ravelry once it's finished. I should probably go through and just update Ravelry as well with projects that I have completed and any patterns that I have used just to give it to rating. But besides that, no, I've kept up pretty well with Ravelry. I'll keep my Ravelry link down below. I don't know why I don't have it actually in my link tree. I should add that. That would be smart. Overall, 2023 was a great year for me. I did have a few moments throughout the year where I think I was ready to be done with Little Woman Creations. as a business and just move it back to a hobby. One thing that really changed for me this year was my new career. And with my new career, I have a much more stable income than my previous 2 jobs. Because of that, I really have been focused on LWC as driving sales, as increasing my profit, because now it's more of that fun side business for me, whereas the last year and a half, or previous year to year and a half, it was a secondary income for me. A lot more prevalent of a secondary income than just a side hustle. So I'm excited to see where 2024 takes me. I'm not going to create any goals for next year. I will do that for my January podcast. If you are wanting to see more from me, definitely go check out my Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. Those are where I usually hang out the most. Thank you so much for sticking with me through the rest of this video, through all of 2023. If you're new here, I'd love to have you stay. 2024 is going to be a year of markets and knitting growth. I'm excited to bring some knit content to the channel. As a primary someone who just crochets, I always disliked when people would make their channel both. I liked where you could just do knit content and and just crochet content, but I think I'm ready to kind of venture into knitting. I don't want that to be something that I sell though. It's not something that I feel comfortable selling products that I finish to people. Maybe as gifts I will do that, but I also am not as fast of a knitter as I am a crocheter. Crochet is still what holds my heart. I absolutely love it. But again, thanks so much for sticking with me all throughout 2023. I look forward to hopefully seeing you in 2024. Happy holidays and Happy New Year. See you on the next one, guys. Bye.